What's up guys, FoxCCS here with a tutorial on the EnderIO interface. Understanding the basic interface of EnderIO will allow you to use almost any of the machines in EnderIO easily and efficiently. So if we open up the GUI of an EnderIO machine, the interface is mostly self-explanatory and all the buttons have intuitive tooltips, but I'm going to walk through them anyway. We have the energy bar, the capacitor slot, the configuration buttons, and depending on the machine, we have various input and output slots. The energy bar is self-explanatory, but the capacitor slot needs explanation. One group of items in EnderIO is called capacitors. There are 3 tiers of capacitors, but only the second 2 can be used for the capacitor slot. If you hover over it, you'll see that the tooltip tells you it increases energy storage and speed / the range of the machines. To do this, simply put it in the capacitor slot. You'll already see that there's more storage, and if we were to use this, it's much quicker than without. Next, on the right hand side, we have the configuration buttons. The first is the redstone mode. There's 4 different modes. The first means that the machine is always active regardless of the redstone signal. Next, it means it's only active with a redstone signal. We have active without a signal. And finally, we have never active, which means regardless of the signal, the machine will not function. Next, we have the input-output configurations, which are both the most interesting and the most complicated. In a previous conceptual video for thermal expansion, we went over auto-import, auto-export, and static blocks. In order to understand the EnderIO input-output configuration, we'll need a quick recap. Static blocks do not interact with adjacent inventories by themselves at all. Auto-export inventories will push items from its internal inventory to an adjacent inventory, and auto-import inventories will pull from an adjacent inventory into its own internal inventory. Now that we understand the auto-import and auto-export functionality, we'll look at the configuration for this EnderIO machine. When you click this button, it opens up this interesting interface. The interface displays ghost images of the blocks that are adjacent to that machine. To pan around the machine, you left-click and drag in any direction that you choose. To edit the configurations of one of the sides of the machine, you right-click. Every time you right-click, it will rotate through the available block interaction options. The available options are pull, which is auto-import, push, which is auto-export, push and pull, which is a combination of both, disabled, which is different from static because it rejects adjacent inventories that are auto-exporting, and finally, we have none, which makes it function as a static block. When you click on the interface, it indicates what inventory slot it applies to. For example, as I'm hovering over this one and I have it set to pull mode, there's blue over here, as you can see. When I set it to push mode, these inventory slots are highlighted. What this means is that push will take any item that falls into this inventory slot and push it through this side of the machine, whereas pull will take any item from these 2 inventory slots and pull them from this side of the machine. Finally, we have this button which disables the ghost images. The last tab that we haven't gone over is the recipe tab. When you click on this, it displays all the possible recipes of this machine, which is very helpful if you're not sure what the machine is used for. That's all guys, hopefully this tutorial will allow you to implement EnderIO machines into your builds with ease and fluidity.